locally, but no D1 offers, and then eventually you got the spot to walk on here, and ever since it's kind of been history since that
Yeah.
point. Could you just walk me through kind of how rewarding was it to speak with Herm at that point and kind of suit up here, the same place where your parents went to school and your grandfather as well?
Yeah, growing up, like I said, being from Tucson, I was an Arizona fan. So for me, I'd never thought about coming to Arizona State. And, it was late down in my recruiting cycle. I graduated in May. It was probably like late April. My younger brother, Tracy, came up here for a visit. And it kind of just, everything fell into place. I remember praying and talking to my dad, maybe I don't play football. Maybe I just get into coaching or do something else. And, just trusting God's plan. Obviously, Herm gave me the opportunity to come here with Coach Likens, and, the rest is history. But it's just been crazy to see how everything turns out. You want to force things to happen in a certain way, but I wouldn't change anything for the world. I'm just blessed for the opportunity.
Yeah, when Herm brought you in, he sort of mentioned that you'd be working a lot with the scout team
Yeah.
in practice, and for you, someone who's always kind of been thinking about going down the path of coaching, kind of lined up with those aspirations. So, just in general, how do you think Arizona State has kind of helped prepare you for that in your future?
Yeah, for me, football, it's kind of like a metaphor for life. There's going to be ups and downs. It's not always going to be, highs. You're definitely going to have some lows. But I remember trying to, walk out here on the practice field every single day as if I'm the starter. Being on the defensive field, I remember my first pass was like a 20-yard, completion, and just trying to be like, I'm still the guy. Whether I'm here in Tucson or up here in Tempe, whether I'm in a 7-on-7 tournament or, scout team or in a real game, I'm the guy. So trying to be that confident, and, just really trying to, help the team out in any way. So those first couple of years being the scout quarterback, trying to give the defense the best look they can. So, I'm trying to be Justin Herbert or Khalil Tate, and, hopefully that helped out, during that year, and just really taking that mindset each and every day, and it's just definitely been a blessing.
And your dad emphasized the importance of embracing your role, no matter what it is, and you on the leadership council, one of the only guys here who's kind of stuck it out up until this point. What does it mean to you to sort of embrace that role and at the point that Arizona State's at now?
Yeah, I definitely think, for me, I still act as if, I feel like I just got here. I remember, the Kyle Soule and the Merlin Robertsons and the Chase Lucases, and now it's kind of like it's my turn to be like those types of guys. So for me, even though I'm not playing, I'm trying to do anything I can to, help guys, in the locker room with classes, prepare them for, Oklahoma State. This crowd's going to be super loud, so we're going to be locked in. Just trying to give anything I can give back to the team and to these coaching staffs. And at the end of the year, just trying to make this a very cool year.
And how's it been seeing a guy like Sam come in with the upside that he has, trying to help him out? How's that relationship kind of grown?
Yeah, it's been exciting. Obviously, when you have a quarterback room, there's only one quarterback. It's not like receivers where there's 3 receivers or 4 receivers on the field. There's one quarterback. But I think our quarterback room, ever since, Jeff and Sam and all those guys have gotten here, we really helped each other out, push each other in spring ball and in summer and in fall camp. And at the end of the day, we want to win, no matter who's the quarterback back there. But I think he's doing a great job, spreading the ball around, using his legs when everything's covered. And I think Coach Arroyo's done a great job of, scheming things up to give our playmakers the ball, and they do the rest.
And again, you've talked about your desire to coach in the future. I was just wondering, after this season, are there any specific short-term, long-term goals you have within the coaching field?
Yeah. The plan is obviously, one day, be an offensive coordinator. I could be a head coach, I think, as well. But OC for me would be perfect. But definitely trying to work my way up, and I'd love to stay here in Tempe under Coach Dillingham and Coach Arroyo, and we'll see what happens. But I think this place, is a hidden gem, and it's an empire just waiting to be built.
What will it feel like to take the field in your hometown in your final regular season game on Saturday?
It's going to be, like last week, you couldn't even written it any better, with my family being here, Trayson on the other side, a big home win, going undefeated for the first time since 2004. But now to finish the regular season, down in Tucson, where it all started for me. I grew up going to those home games from the time I was born to 14. But there's going to be a lot of familiar faces, in the crowd. But it's just super exciting. But for me, it's not just about me. It's about the team. It's about this rivalry. And for us, just trying to make it another game. Try not to make it bigger than it is. But, hopefully we can go out there and represent and do our thing. And, it'll be a good day.
In that vein, just give me your sense of where you sense the team mindset is. How challenging is it to not look past the potential ramifications of a win and just focus in on this one?
Yeah, I think Coach Dillingham has done a great job. Even backing up to last year, he never talks about the game or what can happen if we win or lose. It's the biggest game this week because it's the next game. It's not because it's the last game. It's not because it's our rivalry. It's not because of playoffs or anything like that. It's the biggest game because this is it.
Yeah.
So for us, we're treating each game like it's the Super Bowl for us, and just not making it any bigger than it is. And I think that's really helped us the last couple of weeks of not getting too high, not getting too low, but it's the next game just because it's going to be a big one. So I think we're just trying to handle our business each day out here, try to win the game here, and obviously Saturday is just the end all for everything.
Understanding the perspectives of both sides of this rivalry, for the new guys, the transfers, and freshmen in the program, what have you been trying to tell them to understand the importance of the rivalry in this game?
Yeah, I just told them, no matter what our record is, their record, it's going to be a battle. Growing up, going to these games, I just always remember no matter what the records were or who was ranked higher, this and that, it was a battle. You're going to get the very best of each team. And so I just tell our guys to make sure, don't play with emotion. Don't let the emotions get to, pre-game or, during the game, they're going to be trying to get in your head. Play the game the right way. We'll do our talking with the score. But for us, really just take care of what we can. And that's our attitude and effort.
What were some of your favorite memories going to all these Territorial Cup games growing up?
Yeah, I remember going to so many. It's been kind of weird, trying to remember, my favorite ones here and there, because I can't say my favorite ones growing up because that's when, when the other team would win. But here at Arizona State, obviously the 70-7 game was pretty crazy, going down to Tucson, and that was the first action I got. It was awesome, but to not have the crowd there, my family there, it wasn't as cool it was. Going down there, starting another year, obviously we didn't want it didn't end the way we wanted, but there's been a lot of great memories. Hopefully we can continue and get this Territorial Cup back here in Tempe.
Yeah, what would it mean to bring the Territorial Cup back to Tempe after being in Tucson for the past 2 years?
Yeah, obviously that's the end goal for us. That's what we want to do is get that back up here, and hopefully we can stay here for a long time. But they've taken care of business the last couple of years, but it's time for us to change that.
Was there any little friendly banter growing up with your parents going to ASU and your grandpa and you being the U of A fan?
No, not really. I remember my parents, they never really mentioned going to ASU a lot, around people down in Tucson. That was kind of always just how it is in Tucson if you say you went to ASU. But it's definitely been cool, like I said, to see a lot of people grow up being Arizona fans that have still cheered on for me and my brother here at Arizona State, and just it's been awesome to get their support.
As the season winds down, do you find yourself maybe approaching it a little differently, maybe taking things in and savoring things a little bit more, or is it business as usual?
Yeah, I would say it's business as usual, but definitely not taking any day for granted. Practices, walkthroughs, team meetings. Just knowing that the time is dwindling down. Talking to Melquan, he's been in college a long time as well, and we're just very blessed. Maybe our careers didn't go the way we wanted to, but we wouldn't change anything. God brought us here for a reason, and this has been an awesome year to end on, and it's just exciting to see what we can end up doing.